Box to Box NBA Preview, hosted by Ndegz.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream. Welcome to my NBA preview. And the team that's coming up next. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. In 12th place is the New York Knicks. I feel like the Knicks are the one team, like if I was asked to make a soundtrack or pick a song that embodies them from New York, I'd have the hardest time. Like it's like there's so much. There's Nas, there's Wu-Tang, there's like it's just wild. Like it's just Jay-Z obviously, but then Jay-Z is more affiliated to the Nets. Like it's one of those places. Anyway, New York Knicks, they've started off the season well. Solid as always, but this is how the 22-23 season went. They finished with a 47-35 record. That was good for 5th in the East. They lost in the second round to Miami after knocking out the Cavs in impressive fashion, might I add. A very good Cavs team. Jalen Brunson was a legit All-NBA player in 2022-23, 27.8 points per game, 5.6 assists per game, 4.9 rebounds per game. And he's proven to be that threat, especially at the elbow. Whenever you set a pick and roll for him and then he puts the defender in jail, putting the defender in jail is when you go up the screen and then when someone is following you, you kind of slow down and they kind of bump into you. At that point, they can't do anything, right? You either attack the rim or you rise. That's a foul for sure. He's shooting amazing to start the season. Randall was immense as well. He had off-season surgery. I think it was on his ankle, if I'm not wrong. Started like the first 3 or 4 games a bit shaky, but these last few games he's improved his shooting. I believe he's a much better player. RJ Barrett was very solid last year, especially in the playoffs. He's currently dealing with a few injuries here and there. He missed the Boston game, I think, to migraines it was. And obviously Emmanuel Quickly is someone who is worth investing long-term in, because this is like his contract year, right? He was second in 6th man of the year. He's a pesty defender. He was good, 15.0 points per game, 44.8% field goal shooting. Someone who will be looking for a contract extension because people in his class are getting paid. Yeah. Quentin Grimes as well, off the bench, solid 3-point shooter. Kind of unlocked something when he was thrusting the starting 5 when injuries were kind of plaguing the team, and he proved to us that he's like a proper NBA caliber wing, you know. So the entirety of this team is a massive step in the right direction. They are building something here. Obviously, Coach Tom Thibodeau, Coach Tibbs, former Boston Celtic coach, assistant coach, won the title with us in 2008. Never forget. Is doing the right thing. Like he's actually like. You can see there was a point sometime last year or the year before you're like, nah, he's probably not the right person for the job. But I even didn't think, because we've known Tibbs to be someone who is just a defensive stalwart, right? But he's embraced the 3-point, like he's moved on with the times, and that was the biggest change I've seen in him. But that's for later. Right now, roster moves. This is what they did. They acquired Dante DiVincenzo, who came in from No, he was at the Bucks, then went to the Warriors. Yeah, from the Warriors. Then Nathan Knight, and obviously they extended Josh Hart to a 4-year, $81 million contract. If you guys haven't seen the play he pulled on Drew Holiday, kindly check that out. And then for players they lost, Obi Toppin, who's at the Pacers, and Derrick Rose, who went to Memphis. The Knicks are the first team on our rankings that did not have a draft pick. So obviously they didn't get anyone through the draft. For players on expiring contracts, Isaiah Hartenstein, $9.2 million. Emmanuel Quickly is on a team option of $4.1 million, but I expect him to get paid. I expect him to get paid for sure. Daquan Jeffries is on $2.066 million. Ryan Archidiakono is on a minimum. Charlie Brown Jr. on a minimum. Dwayne Washington, Miles McBride, and Jacob Toppin. I'm still not sure if there's any relation to Obi, but it's too much of a coincidence for them to have the same last name, and Obi used to play for this team as well, right? Rotation. This is how their team looks like. PG, Jalen Brunson. Shooting guard, Quentin Grimes. Small forward, RJ Barrett. And then Julius Randle at power forward and Mitchell Robinson at center. Off the bench, you have the likes of Emmanuel Quickly, Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart, Isaiah Hartenstein, Miles McBride, Jericho Sims, Ryan Archidiakano, who is not seeing much game time, Evan Fournier, who I don't think has played this season yet, and Jacob Toppin. One big question for this team. Can they sustain their offense, right? I feel like there are times when their half-court offense just gets bogged down. So my one question is, can they improve their half-court offense such that they get to a level they can sustain it over periods of time, right? So one thing I've already seen this season is they are much better at throwing curveballs at you. They are they're really good at from three. I still don't want to see Julius Randle shooting too many threes. I don't think that's his strong point. Early in the quarter, maybe. Once in a while in the fourth, maybe. But he has so much gravity when he's like around that 16 to 18 foot area. Like, he has to be double teamed. He's so strong. He puts so much pressure on your defense. And then that's when he can kick it out, right? So, obviously, we would like to see more of their offense being run through him. And then Jalen Brunson, man, like, this guy is just a baller. Like, he's one of the reasons why the Dallas Mavericks really suffered last year when they lost him. Obviously, they started better this season, but Jalen Brunson is proving that he can be a star in this league. Obviously, now it's a matter of getting balance between Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle when you run the offense between the two of them. Josh Hart, the likes of Quentin Grimes, like, just their shooting from three just has to be a nice sustainable 35-36%, you know. If the three of them, like, that's Josh Hart, Quentin Grimes, and Jalen Brunson. Actually, Josh Hart, right? So Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes. Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, and Josh Hart. If they can get like between 35 and 37 3-point shooting between the four of them, I feel like this team is lethal, especially in the East, and they can knock out anyone. Especially with obviously there's the top two teams, there's Boston and Milwaukee, but then the rest there's a hole there that's yet to be filled. And Miami is the next team up in that list, probably Sixers and Miami, but there's still room. There's still room for one team, I think. And yeah, if they can improve their offense, because they will always be a difficult team to play against. Tom Thibodeau's teams are crazily good defensively, and they're aggressive and they're physical. So how can this team just improve their half-court offense, you know, to take it to the next level? That's my one big question for the Knicks. 24-second prediction, shot clock. The Knicks will be in 6th position in the East. In my prediction, I'm seeing them easily get about 45 wins, like easily. But when they get to the playoffs, they're a different animal, and they will get to the second round again. I still don't, at this point, I don't know if they have enough to beat any of the teams above, but they should make the second round of the playoffs, in my opinion. And with that, we are done with New York. We're done with the Knicks. Cash rules everything around me. Next team coming up is a team from the West who, on current standings, it's probably the one team that I'm regretting having at this point, but I wouldn't have known. But yeah, in 11th place is a team that's doing really badly at this point, and they're from the West. And that is my preview for the Knicks.
Ready for the ultimate slam dunk of content? Don't miss out on any of our NBA previews. Hit subscribe and be the MVP of your basketball knowledge game.